Man, Teofimo Lopez just keep on getting crazier by the day. Teofimo Lopez allegedly called Turki Alalshikh a dictator. He called him a dictator. Oh Lord, 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 Lord. Oh my God. Teofimo Lopez is supposed to secure a fight with Jerome Boots Ennis, and of course he's publicly upset that Boots Ennis have ducked Teofimo Lopez. I don't know what's going on in negotiations or what's going on in negotiations for Teofimo Lopez to feel that he needs to call a Turki Alalshikh a dictator, a dictator. Oh Lord. Can you imagine what Turki Alalshikh is when he read the tweet? What this is? Who is calling me a dictator? This motherfucker is going to disrespect me. This little junior welterweight going to disrespect the Turk, the ATM, aka Aladdin, aka Banco Popular. I am their master. I am the king of boxing right now. How dare anyone disrespect me? Look, let me tell you like this. I'm no dictator, even though that you see me hold hands with the men. Even though that I have men to do the round cars to walk around the ring instead of the girl with the bikini. I like their men to do the round one, round two, and walk around the ring. Yes, I'd hold hands with Travis Burt Crawford and Dana White and Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. Hold their hand. But I am no dictator. I am no dictator. I like the boom boom. But how the fuck this guy Teofimo Lopez going to disrespect me? He will no longer have a fight. He will no longer come to Ria season. He will no longer. Well, I would no longer do it Times Square. Nobody was there. Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Man. Hey, yo, I'm going to say it like this. Teofimo Lopez had rubbed every power entity. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because he deleted the tweet. But it seems like Teofimo Lopez throughout the year has rubbed all the power entities wrong. He said things about Eddie Hearn when he had that split decision loss versus George Cambosa. He went after Bob Arum, Top Rank. He said that Showtime was not going to make it. Then he said that the Zone is not going to make it after 5 years, in reference to the Showtime. He went up against every opponent that's matched up to him, his contemporaries. He went after Javante Tank Davis. He went after Devin Haney. He said things about Ryan Garcia. He said things about Rolly. He said things about Canelo Alvarez. Man, every promoter except for Oscar De La Hoya. He never did Oscar De La Hoya. That's the only one. Excuse me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit sick. But damn, there's gonna be a lot of people that's sick of this. Teofimo Lopez is unfiltered. Teofimo Lopez is unfiltered, even though that Teofimo Lopez is the two-division lineal champion, two-division lineal champion, the most accomplished fighter of this young generation. I call him the commander-in-chief. Teofimo Lopez has set the tone, but also is that, damn, I don't think there's no power entity that personally likes Teofimo Lopez now. Man. He said something about Puerto Ricans and the Puerto Rican fighters ain't like that. It rubbed the Puerto Rican fans wrong. He rubbed the black community wrong. Hey, yo, Teofimo Lopez, man, it's the most hated, most controversial personnel in the sport of boxing. A lot of people say, man, how you gonna burn this bridge? I mean, look, ladies, I hope that I hope that this is like banter between Teofimo Lopez and Turkey. You know, we seen Turki Alalshikh be mad at somebody or feel disrespected like Canelo Alvarez and still work with Canelo Alvarez. But we also seen Turki Alalshikh like when he don't want to F with you, just like with Tim Tszyu, he don't want to F with you. But we seen that Boots Ennis didn't answer his email when the time when Turki Alalshikh wanted him to fight Virgil Ortiz. And he still was willing to put Boots versus Teofimo Lopez, and then I don't know what the hell happened with that. I'm gonna say it like this: Teofimo Lopez is destined and desperate for greatness to enhance his legacy. It's the reason why he was calling Jerome Bruce Ennis. It's the reason why he was calling Bud Crawford. If he's saying the dictator, and then after that he tweeted, well, let me just put what Turki Alalshikh did reply, allegedly reply to that. I mean, it didn't at Teofimo Lopez, but it seemed like this is the only thing that he replied really concerning. Maybe this is allegedly. Turki Alalshikh said, "Maturity is to realize most things don't deserve a reaction." Now I'm gonna say it like this, man. Turki Alalshikh. Well, Shakur Stevenson spoke against Turki Alalshikh, saying that promises wasn't kept. Um, Turkey has been moving in a different way. I think there's been an agenda with Turkey Al Sheikh. You know what I'm saying? Is he really for the sport of boxing? Is he really want to work with a lot of people, or does he really want to control people? Does he really want to control the fighters? Does he really want to control the promoters? Not really work with them, not partner up with them, but like, work with all these guys and then sweep the rug under their feet. Because it seemed like he did want to control the Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul. He did want to control the Dimitri Bivol almost doing business with David Benavidez and stuff like that, and really threw something out there, like basically saying, if you do this, you will never work, or you will never get a fight from me, or because I looked out for you, in reference to Dimitri Bivol, right? And we see Dimitri Bivol not go along with the David Benavidez fight, going to PBC and negotiate. I think that Turkey Al Sheikh, he does come from that type of environment and culture and stuff like that. That is more of a controlling. Well, every power entity was a control. Um, but it's one thing about Teofimo Lopez, and let me tell you like this: you can't control Teofimo Lopez. You can't control what he's gonna do. You can't control what he's gonna say. I think the more that you try to control Teofimo Lopez, that's when he's gonna be pushing back. Some people may say, man, maybe lose opportunity. We know that Teofimo Lopez is a special talent, and hopefully he gets great advice for the people around him. You know what I'm saying? He got a good a manager that's doing wonderful things for other fighters in the sport of boxing, and Keith Connolly. And if there's any advice, I would say, yo, like Keith Connolly do his work, man. He did secure Edgar Berlanga the Canelo Alvarez fight. He did secure Richardson Hitchens the championship fight, and now he's fighting George Cambosa in his own show, New York City. Maybe the promoters are talking among themselves and saying, you know what, man, Turkey Al Sheikh, yeah, he got the money, but he's trying to really cut us off. Let's not forget that he was going to be having Dana White to promote the Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I think there's an agenda. And look, remember the TKO situation, right? He's trying to, throwing shots at other belt federations and stuff like that. There's an agenda when it comes to Turkey Al Sheikh, and then there's a power trip with Turkey Al Sheikh. And it seems like when you got a guy that doesn't want to be controlled and a guy that's all about having a power trip, it's not a match made in heaven. I mean, look, Teofimo Lopez was the only one that actually did perform in the Times Square card. He's the one that actually really promoted the fight, promoted the event. Um, and it was a masterful performance versus Barbosa. Maybe there was a number out there that was promised to Teofimo Lopez, and maybe now it's all getting switched up, just like how Shakur Stevenson has felt. Look, Javante Tan Davis and a couple of PBC fighters are happy where they at. David Benavidez recently in an interview said that Turkey Al Sheikh wants him to fight in Alcatraz, and he's like, nah, I don't want to fight there. And when somebody say no to Turkey Al Sheikh, he feels disrespected. And maybe Teofimo Lopez said no to something in negotiations, probably with not with Jerome Bruce Ennis, but there is rumors out there that yes, there's a deal done, or there's going to be a deal with Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, and maybe there's something in that deal that Teofimo Lopez does not want, and he expressed that, and maybe Turkey's like, what, take it or leave it, man. And this was earlier today. Boxing, Teofimo Lopez tweeted, "Boxing update: Jerome Bruce Ennis has declined to fight against I for the WBA IBF Ring Magazine Championship titles at the welterweight division, aka 147. His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh is upset with this, as Eddie Hearn agreed to the fight for later this year. With that being said, I am not sure if I will continue to be a professional boxer since everyone is together and holding hands like their life savings depends on it. What a shame." Um, So this wasn't a directly frustration with Turkey out shake, but maybe there's other deals on the table. And Teofimo Lopez maybe was promised a number before signing that deal to fight Order Barbosa. Because remember, Turkey out shake wanted to do this little tournament, right? Of course, we expected Ryan Garcia to beat Rolly, but Rolly beat Ryan. But it was supposed to be Devin versus Rolly, then Tio versus Boots, and then the winner or the loser will fight on Reha season February 2026. So maybe there's a lot of promises that's not being kept. We've seen Canelo Alvarez in his recent interview saying to the world, like, I'm going to fight in Vegas. And it looks like Canelo Alvarez is not trying to budge, not trying to fight nowhere else. Um, I think that, little by little, a lot of people is catching on to whatever agenda Turkey Al Sheikh has, and it's probably behind the scene turning people off, and uh, um, it's not worth the purse. So maybe not everybody getting that type of money. Because what I'm hearing also, rumor has it that there's a lot of people think that the Turkey Al Sheikh bag is all of that in America, and maybe it's not all of that. You feel me? In the sport of boxing, you never know how much these guys really get paid, and of course, a lot of these fighters are not going to be like. It's not going to tell you that they're getting stiffed or things of that nature. But we see certain frustrations from these fighters, and we see a lot of frustration going on with Turkey Al Sheikh. People are calling out Turkey Al Sheikh whether direct or indirectly, and we're going to see that happen more often. I don't think maybe Eddie Hearn, maybe all these promoters really doesn't want to do all that business with Turkey and probably want to keep it in house. I'm not sure what's going on. Um, we don't know. Look at Top Rank. We don't know. They still haven't signed a stream deal yet. It's going to be a couple of months. I think this 2 months to go for the contract with ESPN is going to be done. We don't know what Top Rank is going to be at. Um, you know, the potential Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney fight, where it's gonna who's going to think about it? Who's going to do the show? You know what I'm saying? There's no promoters. It's not a Golden Boy promotion card. It's not an Eddie Hearn card. You know what I'm saying? If Tio fights Haney or if Tio fights Boots, maybe Eddie want to do that himself. I don't know, but it seems like Tio is highly frustrated.